Today with us is Joe Zambelli from Expert Home Inspections. Joe, welcome.
Thank you.
Glad to have you here.
Thank you.
Joe, I'd like for you to tell our audience a little bit about your background and how you got involved really with home inspections, how long you've been doing it.
Well, it was an easy transition, sort of at the end of my career as a licensed contractor for over 25 years. And I was actually looking for something to do to use my knowledge of all those years of experience to bring to people to help them with their homes and buying and selling. So it was a natural progression. So over the course of my career, we used to do residential work mainly. We did work for State Farms for a while towards the end, and we did also work for Lowe's.
Now, do you cover all of New York, or is it just Suffolk County that you deal primarily in?
Cover the 5 boroughs: Westchester, New Rochelle, Staten Island, which is one of the 5 boroughs, and then I go all the way out to Montauk.
Now, what are some of the questions that a buyer should be asking you? Now, and do you encourage them to ask questions?
I want all my buyers at a home inspection, and I expect them to be there. I expect them to walk with me and go over the house with me, because I joke with a lot of my clients. You buy a car, every Sunday you look in the paper, you look for the best deal, you go and test drive them. You go buy a house, you go to an open house, there's 30 people in the house running around, there's all furniture and everything in the house, and you walk out of there after 15 minutes and say, oh, this is the house I want to buy.
Right.
So you're not looking
You're
with
really
with your head, you're looking with your heart.
Right.
You know?
Right. Very good point.
And I'm a good person to come in because I don't care how it's decorated. That's not my expertise. My expertise is giving you information of the stuff that you can't see.
Okay. So. Such as? Like, what are the big things? Well, what would be the key things that would really be important to me as a buyer, that I need to know before going into contract on a house?
One of the biggest parts is your roof. I was at a house today where the roof was pretty much on its way out. And also, too, when you do a home inspection, there's no gray area. It's black or white. All right. And unfortunately, sometimes a home inspector will give you that gray area. Well, I'm not sure. I don't know. It's black or white. So I explained to the customer today, you have some lifting shingles, you have some curling shingles. You're going to have to keep an eye on it. And it's probably going to be sooner than later that you're going to need a new roof. And that's it. So they know right off the bat what's going on. A lot of times they'll ask us, what's the length of the roof? How long do you think the roof is going to last?
Right.
We can't answer that question.
Right.
We'll tell you what it looks like. We'll give you the information about the roof, flashing on the roof, and shingles and gutters. But we're not going to answer how long something's going to last because we don't know.
Well, I'm sure that gave you a real insight to the actual interior of the home by pulling them apart, rebuilding them. I would assume that some inspectors, it's really just book knowledge maybe, or not even so much.
Yes. Some people that, when I had to go to school, actually, if you could figure that one out after 25 years of experience. I had to go to school to learn how to become a home inspector. And when I was in class, most of the guys in there and girls in there basically didn't know anything about a home. And they all thought, most of them thought it was a great thing to do. It sounded like fun. But in essence, what you're looking at is you're giving people information on the biggest, largest purchase of their life.
Right.
And you have to be spot on. You can't be like in a gray area where you really don't know what you're talking about. So that's where my background comes into play, where I know pretty much what's inside the walls and how a house is built.
I think that for potential buyers that are out there, potential sellers that are out there, I'd like them to be able to contact you. Can you just tell them how to get hold of you and what's the best way?
So you could either call me on my cell phone, which I always have on. I answer it 7 days a week. We work 7 days a week. 631-831-6087. Or you could follow me on Facebook or on Instagram. Just look up Expert Home Inspections Incorporated. And or you could email me at experthomeinspectionsinc@gmail.com.
Now, I'll tell you all a little secret here before we close. Joe has some specials okay? Contact him for these specials and let him know that you saw him on today's show. Once again, I want to thank everyone for coming. Joe, I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And we have many more episodes coming along, and we hope that you'll join in. I hope you enjoyed today's show with Joe Zambelli from Expert Home Inspections. Joe and I just had a conversation after we shot the video, and Joe's going to offer a special discount for anyone that has seen this video and mentions the Alba team. In fact, he's going to throw in a termite inspection along with it. Take advantage of this. So if you're looking to purchase a home, please call Joe Zambelli. Look for the information above or below, depending on what platform you're watching. And we'll see you again next time. Remember, mention the Alba team.